Hello students, today we are dealing with human reproduction part 3rd, in which we will study about gametogenesis. So here we can see a diagrammatic sectional view of seminiferous tubule. In this we can see first spermatogonium, which is the mother cell. Then it divides to produce primary spermatocyte. It again divides to form secondary spermatocyte. Then they change into spermatids and finally spermatozoa or sperms, which are in the center of the seminiferous tubule. So there is the spermatogonium or mother cell, which is found in the periphery, and the mature sperms, they are found in the center of the tubule. In addition, there are some cells which are called Sertoli cells, and they provide nutrition to the developing sperms. Now, what is gametogenesis? It is the process of production of gametes, sperms in male and ovum in female. So, spermatogenesis, it takes place in testis and the immature male germ cell called spermatogonia. It produces sperms. So the male germ cell or spermatogonia will produce sperms at puberty stage. So this process starts at puberty stage, which is 12 to 13 years in boys. Now spermatogenesis involves two main steps. The first is spermatidogenesis, or the formation of spermatids from spermatogonia. So it is the formation of spermatids from spermatogonia. The spermatogonia, which are diploid, they are present on inside wall of seminiferous tubules. As we just saw, they multiply by mitosis and their number is increased, but their ploidy is not reduced, so they remain diploid. Some spermatogonia, which are called primary spermatocytes, they undergo meiosis continuously, so they divide by meiosis. The primary spermatocyte completes the first meiotic division. We know that the first meiosis is reduction division, and as a result two equal haploid cells are formed, which are called secondary spermatocytes, and they are haploid. Now the secondary spermatocytes, they again divide, they undergo second meiotic division and produce 4 equal spermatids. So a single spermatogonia finally produces 4 equal spermatids, which are haploid. The second step is spermiogenesis. It is the transformation of spermatids which have just been produced into spermatozoa or sperms. So the spermatids change their shape and they mature to form sperms. There is no division. The spermatids undergo differentiation to form sperm. So their structure changes, but not their ploidy. Here we can see that spermatogonia at puberty, it divides by mitosis differentiation. Then they produce primary spermatocytes. The first meiotic division or reduction division takes place and secondary spermatocytes are produced. Because it is reduction division, we can see the number of chromosomes gets reduced to 23. Then second meiotic division takes place and the number of cells increases, but the ploidy remains same. So secondary spermatocytes change into spermatids, and then there is differentiation to form spermatogonia. We can see that the cell changes its shape and changes into a tadpole-like structure with a head and a tail, which is the mature sperm. In this figure we can see the hormonal control of reproductive system, how the gametes are produced. In male, first at puberty, the hypothalamus, it starts producing gonadotropin releasing hormone. Now this hormone sends message to anterior pituitary. the frontal part of pituitary gland. Pituitary responds and releases luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. The luteinizing hormone acts on Leydig cells and they produce androgens. The main hormone is testosterone. This hormone helps in formation of sperms, spermatogenesis, and development of secondary sexual organs like development of mustache, muscles, change in voice. The follicle stimulating hormone, they act on Sertoli cells and they release certain factors. One of them is androgen binding protein and another is inhibin. Androgen binding protein helps in spermiogenesis, while inhibin, when its level is increased, it again acts on the hypothalamus and inhibits the release of gonadotropin releasing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. It means that inhibin is controlling its own production. This is called feedback mechanism. Now similar function is performed by androgens. They also, when their level is increased and the process of spermatogenesis is completed, they reach the hypothalamus and inhibit the release of gonadotropin releasing hormone and luteinizing hormone. They also act on anterior pituitary directly. So we can see that the end products are controlling the release of the substances. This is called feedback mechanism. Here we can see a mature sperm of human being. It has head. Now the head contains of acrosome, which is a cap-like structure. It is actually Golgi body. Then head is mainly made up of a nucleus which has DNA, chromosomes. The chromosomes are haploid. They are half in number. Then there is neck, a small depression. Then there is middle piece which has mitochondria which will produce energy for movement, and there is a, we can see, long thread like structure which is called tail. It will help in movement. So the main part is head, neck, mid piece and tail. Now we can see gametogenesis. In gametogenesis we are dealing with spermatogenesis. So finally the sperm is produced and the sperm head becomes embedded in Sertoli cells. So the sperms are connected, their head is fixed inside Sertoli cells and they will get nutrition. Finally they will be released on maturity from seminiferous tubule by the process of spermiation. Now as we saw, let us see some of the properties of sperm. It is microscopic, so it can always be seen by microscope. It has four main parts: head, neck, midpiece and tail. Plasma membrane covers the whole body of sperm. The head is elongated and has a haploid nucleus with half number of chromosomes. The anterior part is covered by a cap-like acrosome. Now the acrosome is filled with enzymes that help in fertilization of ovum. So they have enzymes. Middle piece has many mitochondria and they produce energy for movement of tail. Now during a single coitus, the male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms. So this many number of sperms are released in a single ejaculation. For normal fertility, so if the chances of fertilization are to be increased, at least 60% of the sperms at that time, they must have normal shape and size, means they must be mature, and at least 40% must show vigorous motility or they must be very fast. The sperms are released from seminiferous tubules and they are transported by accessory ducts like vasa efferentia, epididymis, seminal vesicle and finally to the outside through penis. The secretions of epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle and prostate gland, they are essential for maturation or development and motility of sperm because they provide a medium for movement. the seminal plasma or the secretion from the glands along with sperms. They are called semen. Now the function of male sex accessory ducts, it means the tubes like vas deferens, vasa efferentia, and the glands like prostate gland and seminal vesicle, they are maintained by testicular hormones called androgens. So these hormones control the development and maintenance of these ducts and glands. Okay children, so today we studied about formation of sperms. In the next class we will study about oogenesis. Thanks.